What's up, everybody? It is late, but this idea came to my mind, and so I just wanted to vlog it out. So essentially, there's a trend that I've spoken about before, and a lot of people have spoken out before, so it's not anything new. However, it is becoming very annoying. Now, it surprised me how much view I got for a video basically just talking about the Samsung Galaxy J7. And this is the 2015 model, and it was updated to 7.1.1 Nougat. Surprisingly, Samsung actually thought of this and decided that they were going to go ahead and update the device to 7.1.1 Nougat, even though they had brand new hardware of the J7 perks. Why did Samsung do this? Some people still kind of ask, what inspired them to take an old piece of tech, an old hardware, and update it to 7.1.1 Nougat? And I think Samsung is onto something. They're on to what consumers want, because we can put a video about this topic out there and we can get all the feedback regarding what's good business. But at the end of the day, what's good business is only good for one thing: businesses. It's not good for consumers. And consumers out there don't care about business point of views and business standpoints. What they care about is what they want. And in today, the shortcomings of OEMs such as Motorola, HTC, LG, Samsung, their shortcomings is system updates. We have really gone into this hamster wheel of having to buy phones left and right every 3 months, every 6 months. The urge to buy a new phone. And the reason why? Because with new software comes new features, comes new abilities. And with those new abilities, you're lying if you're going to say that you 100% don't care about them. You may 80% not care about them, or 50% not care about them. But to say 100% you don't care is a lie. It is a lie because of these new features, brings new attitude, brings new experience to how you use your smartphone. And one key example, which I am currently working on a year after review, which is probably still one very good device that you can buy currently right now on Boost Mobile, is the LG X Power. How sad, a device that's never seen anything than marshmallow. It has not seen anything else than marshmallow at all whatsoever. Now, some will say, well, you can get the LG X Charge. That is the updated version of the LG X Power. True. But again, when something works really good, why do you have to buy another piece of hardware just to have the newer experience with it? Okay, the LG X Power to me is still a phenomenal phone. I think it's probably one of the best phones ever put out on Boost Mobile. And for the fact of just how it works, how it functions, its processing power, its battery life, it has shortcomings with the cameras, but that's subjective. Some people aren't trying to be professional photographers on Instagram. And, it's just sad to see that this device has seen nothing but marshmallow. It has had multiple security patches, but that is the responsibility of OEMs, is to make sure that anytime Android puts out a security patch for its operating system, that old devices would receive that security patch. But just because you get a system update that does a security patch doesn't make up for the fact that it hasn't gotten a software update. Security patching is very minor, a blip on the field of user experience, versus getting a completely new software installed on your device. And people have allowed that because they have been tempted by OEMs to continuously pour money out for flagship devices that is just insane at times. The need for chasing down new flagship devices is unparalleled to idiocy that I've seen out there. Yes, that is very rude to say, but someone has to say it. If we've never bought in to this idea that you have to have the latest and greatest, then the idea of the OEM's shortcomings of not providing software updates, maybe providing one software update, would be different. Maybe we would see with any Android device having one or two software updates. I mean, here at the end of the day, we can make fun of Apple devices. We can make fun of iPhones. We can do that day in and day out. We can mention of welcome to this particular year because it got a feature that Android has had previously with older Android devices. But why do you think Apple still kind of dominates out there? And the reason that it does is because they don't just create new hardware for those who are fans of the ecosystem of iOS and Apple products, but they still update their past devices. Now, some could argue the point, well, Apple makes their own hardware, so it's easy for them to make a software update for those hardware. Yes, but what prevents LG from doing it? I mean, what do? Sit all day long with their thumbs up their keysters? Just, no, let's beautifully make another LG device. And really, that's what they do. I mean, what would it take for them to actually build software, new software, an update software for a previously made hardware? Well, thanks to HTC and how they were so nice enough a couple of years ago to show us a bridge of what steps they did to get phones updated to the latest hardware, because this is when I had the HTC Desire 601 and was eagerly waiting KitKat to be put out for that device. We've seen the bridge. They showed you a bridge of how all this works, how it works for carrier lock devices, how it worked for unlocked devices. They just gave a whole workaround of how it works. And so really, when you kind of look at it, the bridge, like, yes, I'm not going to say it's easy peasy and it's like snapping a finger and software is created. I know there are steps that they have to do. But what prevents a giant tech company such as LG to not at all develop new software for a piece of hardware that they put out that was magnificently great? The X-Power, again, I will reiterate, will go down in history as one of the best Android devices to ever pop off for Boost Mobile. So much that it is still currently on their lineup of devices that they offer. And it goes for a shiny penny, $59.99 if you want to grab one. And it is just sad to see that this device probably will never see nougat. I say probably because maybe LG might have a change of hearts. Maybe LG might look at what Samsung is doing and say, hey, we should do this too. Because if you guys don't know, Samsung is going to put out a software update for the Galaxy S6. Okay, basically 2 generations back, and give it Oreo. Now that's unheard of for a device that old to get it, but it doesn't surprise me that Samsung is going to walk down that path, because it seems that Samsung is onto it. They realize, okay, everybody else is so focused, so go focus on making hardware. Let's take some of our older devices and update the software on it. And yes, it has people talking. I mean, do you know how many videos have been put out regarding older Samsung devices getting new software update, and not security patches, but an actual advancement in the software, going from one particular version of the OS to another version? I mean, Samsung is really starting to capitalize on that. And it's so sad because Samsung is right up there with iPhone when people kind of criticize the smartphone industry. While people will say that, you know, Apple and iOS is a certain way, Samsung is no different. They are the yin to the yang. So, yeah, that's just basically what I wanted to rant about tonight, is the OEM shortcomings. Why is it that they have, you know, such little feedback nowadays as to how good they are? And the reason is that they're so focused on pumping out more hardware and polluting our world with more hardware than they are concerned about taking devices that they have built that have been working great and keeping them up to date, which is originally what the plan was for smartphones way back when everyone was using feature phones with slide out QWERTY keyboards and text messaging and all that. When Android hit the market, because the iPhone came out and revolutionized the industry, and Android hit the market and gave an alternative for those who didn't want to go with an iPhone, that was one of the things that they pitched. That was one of the things that they put out there. It was like, your phone will be up to date because we will be giving out software updates. And yes, while it's not Google's fault that LG, HTC, Motorola, and Samsung and all them haven't put out these software updates, because technically it is open and available for them to get a hold of. It's not like Google hides it all to themselves. It's open source. It's just up to the OEMs to actually build the software update. And that's where they've been slacking. That's where they've gotten lazy and have literally just said to themselves, well, we'll just build hardware and do it that way then. Then update previous software because we can make more money on hardware. Yes, we know this. This is no secret. This is how they're going to make more money. Got it. But you're a freaking $1 million, a double-digit $1 million, or even almost $1 billion company. You got money to spend. I'm not asking that every device in your catalog stays to the most current version of Android. But you can take some of the ones that people have adopted and have come to say is a fabulous device and say, hey, let's just keep this one updated for at least 2 versions, at least 2 generations before the hardware itself is completely obsolete. So anyways, that's my rant for tonight. I know it's like 11 minutes long, but I haven't made a video in a while, so I had enough to say on this one. And stay tuned for my year after review of the LG X Power and what I think about it today. Slowly putting that video together, and it's going to be a little bit different than just me sitting in front of the camera and talking. So if you guys enjoyed what I said in this video, drop that like. And yeah, I'll talk to you all on the next one. Good night.